Your mind is your greatest asset. And for most people, it is completely untrained. That's not an insult. That's a wake-up call. You were given a powerful mind, but no one handed you an instruction manual. And if you don't learn to use it, it will use you. Success is predictable. It's not luck, and it's not magic. It's hard work and discipline. And discipline begins in the mind. Every problem you face started as a thought. Every breakthrough you admire began as an idea. Every failure you regret was first allowed in the mind. Before success appears in your life, it appears in your thinking. Most people let their minds drift. They react instead of decide. They hope instead of plan. They worry instead of think. That's dangerous, because an undisciplined mind magnifies fear. It creates excuses. It talks you out of doing the very things that could change your life. But a trained mind, that's a different story. A trained mind creates clarity, focus, confidence. It turns pressure into power. It turns obstacles into lessons. It turns discipline into freedom. If you don't run your mind, someone else will. Your mind can be your prison, or it can be your superpower. The difference is daily training. You don't train your mind once. You train it every day. Just like the body, just like a skill. What you think about consistently. You become what you allow into your mind daily. Shapes your future quietly and relentlessly. Change the inputs, and the outputs must change. Today, we are not talking about motivation. We are talking about mastery. Mental mastery, self-command, daily discipline. Because when your mind is trained, your habits improve. Your confidence grows. Your results follow. This message is for those who are tired of drifting, tired of reacting, tired of letting emotions run their life. If you're ready to take control, if you're ready to train your greatest asset, if you're ready to turn your mind into your superpower, then listen closely. Because once you master your mind, life starts to respond. Your life does not move by chance. It moves by choice, and every choice begins in the mind. Before your life changes on the outside, it changes on the inside. Before results show up, thinking shows up. You don't get paid for hard work alone. You get paid for the value of your thinking. Most people spend their lives reacting to circumstances, reacting to emotions, reacting to opinions. They don't decide. They drift. And drifting always leads to disappointment. Because when you don't control your mind controls you. Your income is connected to your thinking. Your habits are connected to your beliefs. Your confidence is connected to your inner dialogue. Change the dialogue, and the direction must change. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. Whatever you ignore will wither. And weeds don't need permission. If you don't plant discipline, fear will grow. If you don't plant belief, doubt will take over. If you don't design your life, someone else will design it for you. Look at the difference between two people. Same city, same economy, same opportunities. One grows, the other struggles. The difference isn't luck. It's not background. It's not talent. It's thinking. One thinks long-term. The other thinks short-term. One invests in growth. The other looks for comfort. Your destiny is shaped by the thoughts you repeat daily. Thoughts about money. Thoughts about effort. Thoughts about failure. Thoughts about discipline. What you think repeatedly becomes familiar. What becomes familiar becomes comfortable. And what becomes comfortable becomes your life. Most people never question their thinking. They inherit it from parents, from friends, from society. They live with borrowed beliefs and then wonder why the results don't change. You must stand guard at the door of your mind. If you believe life is hard, you'll look for reasons to quit. If you believe success is possible, you'll look for ways to grow. Belief doesn't eliminate effort. It directs effort. Your mind also determines how you handle adversity. A weak mind asks, why is this happening to me? A trained mind asks, what is this teaching me? One collapses. The other evolves. Destiny is not one big moment. It is a series of small decisions made daily. Do you read or scroll? Do you plan or drift? Do you act or hesitate? These decisions seem small, but they compound. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Your mind decides whether discipline feels like punishment or freedom. The undisciplined mind resents effort. The trained mind welcomes it because effort builds self-respect, and self-respect builds confidence. Your future is not hidden. It is being created quietly, daily, by the thoughts you allow, by the standards you accept, by the habits you repeat. You cannot rise above the level of your thinking. You can only grow as far as your mind allows. That's why training the mind is not optional. It is essential. Start today. Read something valuable. Listen to something that stretches you. Write down your goals. Question your excuses. Don't wait for motivation. Train your mind to act without it. The day you take full responsibility for your thinking is the day your life begins to change. Your mind determines your destiny. Not tomorrow, not someday. Today, and the moment you take control of it, your future begins to obey. Your mind is powerful, but power without control is dangerous. An untrained mind is not neutral. It does not sit quietly. It drifts. It reacts. It sabotages. If you don't guide your mind, it will guide you, often in the wrong direction. You must take charge of your mind, or your mind will take charge of you. Most people don't fail because of lack of ability. They fail because of lack of mental discipline. They let emotions decide their actions. They let moods determine their effort. They let fear talk louder than reason. That's betrayal. Your mind will exaggerate pain. It will magnify discomfort. It will whisper excuses at the exact moment you need courage. Do it tomorrow. You're tired. It won't matter anyway. Those are not facts. Those are undisciplined thoughts. A trained mind does not argue with itself. It gives commands. It says, get up, do the work, stay focused, finish what you started, and then it acts. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without training, your mind seeks comfort. Comfort avoids effort. Comfort avoids risk. Comfort avoids growth. But comfort has a price, and the price is regret. The trained mind understands something critical. Short-term discomfort leads to long-term freedom. Long-term comfort leads to long-term pain. That understanding changes behavior. Training the mind starts with awareness. Notice your thoughts. Listen to your inner voice. Is it building you or breaking you? You don't need to fight every thought. You need to replace weak ones. Repetition builds authority. What you say to yourself daily becomes law. If you say, I can't, your mind believes you. If you say, I will find a way, your mind looks for solutions. Whatever you dwell on expands. Training the mind also means controlling emotional reactions. You cannot stop emotions from showing up, but you can stop them from driving. Emotion is energy. Direction is choice. The trained mind pauses, thinks, then acts. Your mind must also be trained to endure boredom. Success is not exciting every day. Progress is often quiet, repetitive, unnoticed. The untrained mind quits here. The trained mind continues. That is the difference. Another betrayal comes from comparison. The mind looks sideways instead of forward. It measures against others instead of standards. A trained mind competes only with yesterday. Mental training is not complicated, but it is demanding. Daily reading, daily reflection, clear goals written down, limiting negative input. These are small acts, but they build mental strength. Small disciplines repeated daily lead to great success. You must also train your mind to delay gratification. Not everything you want now is good for you. Not everything that feels good leads somewhere valuable. The trained mind chooses progress over pleasure. Understand this. Your mind will resist change. It prefers familiarity, even if it's painful. Training the mind means doing what feels uncomfortable until it becomes normal. Betrayal doesn't happen suddenly. It happens quietly. through skipped routines, ignored standards, excused behavior, but discipline corrects course. You don't change your life by chance. You change it by changing your daily decisions. And daily decisions come from daily thinking. Train your mind to focus. Train it to finish. Train it to stay calm under pressure. Train it to act without motivation. Because motivation fades. Discipline stays. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your most dangerous enemy. The choice is yours. And the training is daily. Control your thoughts. Direct your focus. Command your actions. Because if you don't train your mind, it will betray your future. Your mind eats every day. The question is not if it eats. The question is what you feed it. You can't starve your body and expect strength. And you can't starve your mind and expect success. You are what you read, listen to, and think about. Most people are mentally undernourished. They consume information constantly, but very little of it builds them. News without wisdom, entertainment without growth, opinions without substance. That diet weakens the mind. A weak mind struggles to focus. It gets overwhelmed easily. It reacts emotionally. It quits early, not because the person lacks potential, but because the mind is underfed. Success begins with deliberate mental nutrition. You choose what enters your mind, or someone else will choose for you. There is no neutral input. If you don't read, you are not educated. If you read the wrong things, you are miseducated. What you read shapes your beliefs. What you listen to shapes your standards. What you repeatedly hear becomes familiar, and familiarity becomes truth. Feed your mind with ideas that stretch you, principles that challenge you, voices that elevate you. A few pages a day, a few minutes of reflection, a quiet moment to think. Small inputs, big impact. Your potential is not fixed. It expands or contracts based on your mental diet. Feed it confusion, and it shrinks. Feed it clarity, and it grows. Mental feeding is not about motivation. It's about direction. Motivation excites. Wisdom guides. And guidance lasts longer. Most people wait for inspiration. Disciplined people schedule nourishment. They read when they don't feel like it. They listen when it's inconvenient. They think when silence feels uncomfortable. That's why they grow. What you feed your mind also determines your emotional state. Positive input does not eliminate problems, but it strengthens your response. A fed mind sees opportunity. A starved mind sees obstacles. The mind can only work with what you give it. You must also learn to limit mental junk food. Not everything available deserves your attention. Gossip weakens the mind. Negativity poisons it. Constant comparison exhausts it. You must guard the door. Your potential depends on repetition. One good book won't change your life. One great message won't either. But daily feeding, that compounds. Just like exercise. Just like saving money. Just like discipline. Ask yourself daily, what did I feed my mind today? If the answer is nothing of value, then don't be surprised by stagnation. Growth requires nourishment. Feeding your mind also builds confidence. Not fake confidence, quiet confidence. The kind that comes from understanding, from preparation, from clarity. Confidence comes from knowing what you're doing, and knowing comes from learning. You don't need to consume everything. You need to consume intentionally. Quality over quantity. Depth over noise. One good idea applied is better than 1,000 consumed and forgotten. Your mind is the engine. Fuel determines performance. Feed it discipline. Feed it truth. Feed it challenge. Feed it wisdom. And it will take you places talent alone never could. Neglect your mind, and potential dies quietly. Feed it daily, and destiny responds. Belief is not something you wait for. Belief is something you build. Most people say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the successful say, I'll see it when I believe it. Belief is not a feeling. It is a decision practiced daily. Belief begins with evidence, and evidence is created through action. Every small promise you keep to yourself builds belief. Every task you finish strengthens confidence. Every disciplined day adds weight to your self-trust. That's how belief is formed. quietly, daily. Now let's talk about focus. Focus is power. Scattered energy produces scattered results. Concentrated energy creates momentum. The problem is not lack of time. It's lack of focus. An untrained mind jumps from thought to thought, from task to task, from distraction to distraction. A trained mind stays. It stays with the problem. It stays with the work. It stays until the job is finished. Where focus goes, energy flows. Focus must be protected. It doesn't survive by accident. Your environment matters. Your habits matter. Your inputs matter. If everything has your attention, nothing gets your best effort. Mental strength is the ability to stay calm under pressure, to think clearly when emotions rise, to act wisely when circumstances challenge you. Mental strength is not toughness. It is control. Pressure reveals training. When life squeezes you, your mental conditioning shows up. The untrained mind panics. The trained mind evaluates. One reacts. The other responds. Mental strength grows through resistance. Just like muscle, avoiding difficulty weakens the mind. Facing difficulty strengthens it. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Build belief by setting standards. Not goals alone. Standards. Standards define behavior. They guide decisions when motivation fades. A standard says, this is who I am. This is what I do. Build focus by simplifying. Fewer priorities. Clear direction. Do the important things first. Not the urgent. Not the easy. The disciplined mind handles high-value tasks early. Build mental strength by enduring boredom. Repetition. Routine. Success is not exciting every day. Consistency is not glamorous. But those who endure monotony win. Your inner dialogue also matters. What you say to yourself shapes belief. Weak language creates weak action. Strong language creates strong direction. Replace I'll try with I will. I hope with I plan. I can't with I'm learning. Words are powerful. They shape your identity. Belief, focus, and strength are not separate. They work together. Belief fuels effort. Focus directs effort. Mental strength sustains effort. When belief is strong, fear shrinks. When focus is sharp, distractions fade. When mental strength is solid, pressure loses control. Train these daily, not occasionally. Read daily. Reflect daily. Act daily. One day won't change you, but many days will. Your mind is not fixed. It is trainable. It is expandable. And when belief is built, when focus is guarded, when mental strength is developed, your mind becomes your superpower. Mental mastery is not the end. It is the beginning. What you do with a trained mind determines the quality of your life. A strong mind must be applied. Otherwise, it becomes unused potential. What you become is more important than what you get. Life mastery starts with consistency, not intensity, not motivation. Consistency. A trained mind shows up even when it doesn't feel like it. It acts without negotiation. Mental mastery shapes daily decisions, small decisions, ordinary moments. What time you wake up, how you speak to people, how you handle pressure, how you respond to setbacks. This is where success is built. Life mastery also means alignment. Your thoughts match your actions. Your actions match your goals. Your goals match your values. When alignment exists, life flows. When it doesn't, stress appears. A trained mind plans. It doesn't drift. It sets goals. It sets priorities. It sets boundaries. Either you run the day or the day runs you. Mental mastery improves relationships. You listen better. You react less. You choose words carefully. You don't let emotions ruin connections. It also improves finances. A trained mind delays gratification. It thinks long-term. It invests instead of consumes. Wealth follows discipline. Life mastery means owning responsibility. No blame. No excuses. You take charge of your habits, your results, your growth. Responsibility is power. A mastered mind also embraces challenge. It sees struggle as training. Hard days sharpen you. Pressure strengthens you. The challenge is what makes success valuable. Life mastery requires standards, not just desires. Standards guide behavior when motivation disappears. A standard says, this is how I live. This is what I accept. This is what I refuse. Mental mastery also means self-respect. You do what you said you would do. You keep promises to yourself. Self-trust grows. Life mastery does not mean perfection. It means progress. You correct quickly. You learn fast. You move forward. Your environment matters. A trained mind designs surroundings that support growth. What you watch, who you listen to, where you spend time. Everything influences you. Life mastery compounds. Small improvements. Daily actions. 1 page read. 1 task completed. 1 distraction avoided. It adds up. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Mental mastery creates calm. Life mastery creates fulfillment. You stop reacting. You start directing. You stop drifting. You start deciding. Your mind becomes your compass. Your habits become your engine. Your character becomes your foundation. The goal is not success alone. It is a life well lived. A life of purpose, of discipline, of contribution. Turn mental mastery into daily action, into disciplined habits, into wise decisions. And life will respond. Your mind is your superpower. Train it daily. Apply it consistently. That is life mastery. Remember this. Your life does not rise by chance. It rises by design. And the design begins in the mind. Every habit you keep, every decision you make, every standard you accept, started as a thought. Train your mind, and you train your future. If you change how you think, everything else begins to change. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for confidence. Build discipline first. Train your thinking daily. Act with intention, because a trained mind creates calm. It creates clarity. It creates confidence. You now know the truth. Your mind can work for you or against you. It can build your life or slowly sabotage it. The choice is made every day. Feed your mind wisely. Guard your focus fiercely. Strengthen belief through action. Apply mental mastery to every area of life. Small decisions, daily discipline, consistent effort. That's how lives are transformed. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. So start now, not tomorrow, not someday. Read today, think today, act today. Train your mind, direct your thoughts, master yourself. And when you do, your life will begin to follow. Your mind is your superpower. Use it, train it, master it, because the life you want is built first in the mind.